Testa. Well, what's that? Is that a real bear?
Nope.
No, Chuck Testa.
Do you remember at the Red House
where black people and white people buy furniture and Hispanic people too,
and all people?
What is it? It's like something like my name's Jason, aka 10 Gauge.
10 Gauge.
Something like that.
Dude, Rhett and Link back in the day. Not sponsored by Jocko Fuel.
Dude, there was a Rhett and Link commercial I had never heard of. And then when I was up in Tennessee on vacation with my fiance, she played the song, and it was for a pharmacy called Butt Drugs. Because the person's last name was Butt.
That's
so
like
Butts
funny.
County?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's Butt. The person's last name is Butts or something like that, so it's Butt Drugs.
There's some real funny
and it's a
names around here.
It's a Rhett and Link commercial.
Butt Drugs. That's so funny.
Because I told them about, they said, have you ever heard the Butt Drugs commercial? And I said, no, but have you ever seen the Red House? And then they show me the Butt Drugs commercial, and I go, yeah, this is the same guy.
It's the same guys.
Yeah. Nope. Chuck Testa was also them. And who's the guy that's like from somewhere down south? I can't remember which.
TDM Auto Sales?
Yeah, where he's like
Auto Sales.
Yeah, he used to be
I used to be a gynecologist in Cuba, but now I sell car here in Connecticut.
That's what it is. Cuba.
We had a guard dog, but somebody stole it. I need to freedomize this Ford Explorer from the parking lot.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's good, dude. All right,
I say we start on that.
Welcome to episode 30 of the Port City podcast.
What a great way to start off. If you guys are new here,
if you're new,
this is how we roll.
This is just how we roll.
We just be talking about some Rhett and Link,
and then we jump right into it.
Yeah.
No warning. We're sipping. We're a couple sipping boys today too.
I'm a sleepy boy.
Sleepy boy, sipping boy.
Up late working on homework.
All
the good stuff.
Education.
Check that out, dude. Port City sticker.
Dang.
Get yours today.
Get your Port City sticker today.
Actually, we do have that sticker, I think, on the store. I think it might be a little bit larger than that one.
I think I need to actually scoot back a little bit.
Scoot back just a hair, yeah, because the focus of the camera will be off if you're not lined up.
All right, well, now we're ready.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you tell them what today's episode is about?
Isaac and I were talking, and I think we're just thinking about like things that we get asked on the field when we're playing on Saturdays and whatnot. And I mean, this is a question we get asked by other like new airsofters, but then also the paintballers, like the rec ballers that come in and play, and they walk by the table and see all the cool blasters and whatnot. And you're like, oh, is that a paintball
is
gun?
that from Fortnite?
Oh, is that a? Oh, I saw that in Modern Warfare.
One kid, look at that, I got a little Evite patch.
Oh, nice.
One kid last week, we were out there just a few days ago. Oh. All right.
Oh.
But one kid a couple days ago was asking, Trey came out for the first time with his new SEMA AK. And it's nice. It's got like steel, and then it's got faux wood furniture. But it looks really nice. It's one of the nicest faux wood.
And dude,
I've seen.
Kind of a laser beam.
And it is. And it's cheap too.
He didn't even have the hop-up adjusted.
SEMA makes great low-budget stuff.
Oh, man.
But this kid, he's walking by, and I hear the kid as I'm walking off the field. I'm in my ghillie suit. Trey's got his like chest rig and everything, his AK. And the kid goes, Is that the gun from Fortnite? That's the assault rifle. Or something like that. You know, the heavy assault rifle. And I wanted to just...
I mean, he's not... Well, no, man. He's not wrong. It is the one from Fortnite.
Yeah, your standard issue U.S. Army Fortnite heavy assault rifle.
Oh.
Could you imagine? Listen, I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I was... Because, you know, obviously the U.S. isn't using AKs, but if I was in the military, no matter which military I was in... Yeah. I feel like I would have some form of Fortnite reference somewhere.
Oh, okay, I got you. On your person, there'd be.
I don't know
Fortnite.
what like the rules are on patches and stuff. I know a lot of military stuff, like especially like infantry stuff, like morale patches is like
No.
it's like a no.
What about like inside your admin pouches and stuff?
Well, so
You know?
there's
Could you put like a sticker on your phone of like the pinata?
Maybe there's in Jocko, one of Jocko's books,
Mhm.
I think Extreme Ownership, he's talking about how they were getting in trouble a lot. His crew was getting in trouble
Yeah.
frequently for their morale patches showing up in photos in the press and all that. And so they were getting he got like written up for it.
Well, I imagine what he was doing, wasn't he like special ops or
Yeah.
something? So I'm sure like they wouldn't want anything recognizable.
Right. Well, so what had happened is he's talking about the principles are like for leadership. He's talking about
Right.
when the concept that they're talking about is when to drop the hammer
Mm-hmm.
and really be on people about the rules and how to know what to let slide.
Right.
Because if you say no to everything,
Then you're just going to
you're
come
just
across
gonna
as
come
a
across as a jerk.
yeah.
But there's certain things you need to say no to. And so he was saying he would rather command their respect and let some stuff slide
Right.
rather than them disrespect him for seeing him as a nuisance.
Yeah.
So
basically, he's saying you got to know when to hold them
yes,
and know when to fold
and
them.
when to fold them
Know when to walk away.
and know when to run.
Yeah.
So basically what had happened was they kind of got into this habit of they would all have their patches in their pocket, and after they basically crossed the wire,
They would put the
they would
patches.
put all their patches on.
Just-
And he was still getting in trouble for that. So what he had done is one of the guys in the group was like, hey, I know you don't want us to be wearing these. I know the guys are still doing it. I have an idea for a patch I really, really want to make for our group of guys.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll tell you what, convince them to stop. He was like, you convince the rest of the guys to stop wearing their, like, these certain patches, and I'll let you guys slide on the custom stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was the compromise. He basically removed himself from the situation. They were like, hey, instead of wearing all these separate patches, let's wear one patch that we all like that like makes us look unified and more uniform.
And then that's camaraderie. And then you're like,
camaraderie. And,
that's my boy.
So
I mean, you and I have the market expansion.
Oh, well, I have mine up there.
Yeah. But
I do have my Enduring Forces patch though from the World Conflict series at Ballahack.
do we have matching?
Airsoft.
We don't have matching
Not a
Port
sponsor.
City patches.
No, I don't have my Port
You don't
City
have a
patch.
Port City patch on
wouldn't
yours.
fit on here.
Mm.
I could put it up here, but I like my flag.
Well, you could put your Enduring patch and a Port City patch up there and move your flag down to where your Enduring patch is now. Anyway.
Little tangent there, but
yeah, a little tangent.
Little lesson for you guys on the patches. Hey, and if you guys want to send us something for the patch wall, go ahead and message us. You know, DM us on Instagram,
or YouTube. I don't know if YouTube has DMs.
You can find all the links to our socials
it's
down
on the
in
bio.
the description.
Bio.
If you want your patch up here, though, hit us up. We'll talk about it if we feel like it's acceptable for the setting.
As long as it doesn't, violate
YouTube's
guidelines,
terms and service, and as long as it's not a domestic terrorist symbol.
Right. So all that to say, this week we're talking about the different types of airsoft blasters, right? So the kid talking about
everything
the Fortnite,
we've talked about so
right?
far
Everything
has
we've talked
nothing to
about
do
has
with the
nothing to do
podcast.
with that. But yeah, it's like we get asked all the times, like, oh, what kind of blaster is that? Oh, where do you put the air? I got asked that the other day. Where do you put the air? And I'm looking at my Valken Tactical M4. Oh, I blow into it. Just do it real hard.
No.
But yeah, so it's this video. We just figured we do on the different types of airsoft blasters. What?
I never really thought about it like that. For someone coming from paintball to airsoft, the concept of a battery operated,
right? Because you wouldn't want an electric, because the way that an electric airsoft rifle works, it's basically punching the BB out, right?
Well,
or it's like launching it.
The nozzle does protrude, but you're still using air. But rather than compressed air, you're using a piston. So
Right.
theoretically, you could have a battery operated paintball
The piston would just have
blaster,
to look
but
different.
the piston would have to be really high power because those paintballs are way heavier.
Yeah. But it would also have to be not like you'd have to figure out a way for when the air hits it not to break the paintball inside. Because if it's a concentrated burst,
what you would do is you would basically just still have the same technology in your hopper and barrel as a honestly I would do mag fed,
I would
but
too, yeah.
in your like receiver, because they don't have hop ups, they have some other technology, but
Witchcraft. They use
basically you'd have the same thing,
Eldritch
but back here where the
magic.
tank sits and where
Yeah.
that air is released, instead of having that nozzle, you would have a piston.
Mhm.
I don't think it would be worth it. I think that if it
Wild.
was worth it, someone would have done it already.
It'd be wild, man. But think about it. Like you could build out something that would basically look just like an AR-15, and the piston would just be in the buffer tube.
You know what I would make? Because you'd have to have, I feel like you'd have to have a really large piston to make it work. I would build that. You know that one crazy real steel blaster that was in Black Ops 1 that's based off the old like Cold War era assault rifle that uses full gunpowder cartridges, so there's no shell. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the G11.
Yeah.
So
That thick boy.
Yeah, the G11 looks like
It looks like
it looks like the Starship Troopers blaster.
I was gonna say it looks like the one from Alien.
Yeah,
Aliens,
I mean, which they both
which
look
is the same.
very similar. Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same universe.
Oh, I don't think it is.
I mean, it's not officially, but I wonder
If it may be, yeah, okay.
if there's a fan fiction out there.
Maybe that if it's not, it's about to be. But yeah, wait, what were we just talking about?
We were just talking about the paintball players.
Sorry, you said
asking where the
G11
air
and
is.
sent me. I started thinking about aliens and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that blaster's really cool. The way that it works, it feeds very similarly to like a P90. So all the rounds are loaded in like sideways or whatever,
Right.
and it just feeds them down. So it's got a magazine. So the magazines are big sticks, and you slide it into a middle section that is the actual like chamber
Yeah.
or the mag well.
Yeah, but
and then there's slots down the sides for 2 more magazines on the
Yeah.
on the gun itself.
So it burns up all the powder. There's no shell. It's compressed powder.
And it's
for the
also
cartridges.
it's a 3-round burst with a reciprocating bolt and barrel assembly. So
which is where
it does the.
it's like
I don't know if
it's
it's
like
3-round. I think it's 2-round. It's very similar to the AN-94.
it fires 2 rounds.
Its
Off
purpose
the
is
same.
it fires 2 rounds off
like,
the same recoil.
Action,
Yeah. So as it fires the first bullet, that whole barrel and everything starts shifting backwards, and the second bullet fires while that's still happening. So you only feel the recoil once for 2 shots. So the idea is you can get 2 shots on target at the same time before you feel the recoil.
For accuracy's
Yeah.
sake.
Which is really cool.
Rather than it being like bump bump, it's
Bum.
and it's
And
2
it's 2.
shots.
Yeah.
Da-dun. Yeah. Rather than doom doom, it's da-doom.
Yeah. So it's very cool.
It never really took off though because
it's so convoluted.
the powder, the whole no casing thing,
Right.
lent it to be kind of underpowered.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly,
Something like that.
it didn't.
Also expensive.
We're not even talking about the content
Dude,
anymore.
I am-
Honestly, hey,
podcast.
Sorry guys.
All right. So
We appreciate you bearing with us.
it's been kind of one of those days. So yeah, we've just been asked quite a few times on the field about the different types of airsoft blasters that are out there, both by new players for airsoft and by paintballers who just don't really know. So there's, I mean, definitely more of a variety than paintball. Paintball seems to be just the one style of marker kind of thing.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's those like rifled half round things that a lot of mag fed players use, but for the most part they don't have the same variety of blaster types that we have.
Which we kind of figured there's 3 main types. You've got spring powered, And that's kind of the way we looked at it is how are the blasters powered, right? So for paintball, it's just air, CO2. Sorry, I got the
What's HPA,
burps.
right?
HPA, yeah. For all means and purposes, it's HPA.
That's what you're gonna use out on a paintball field, like a rec game.
Yeah. But for airsoft, we've got 3 different ways that you kind of power your blaster. You've got a spring power, you've got electric, and you've got gas. And gas can look like there's a few different styles for that. But we just wanted to break it down, kind of go through each one of them and talk about some of the pros and cons, what you can expect, what might work best for you. Yeah.
We'll kind of talk through a few different examples within each category. So, like, we'll talk about a few different spring options.
Yeah.
Electric, there's really one major style. When you get down into the like parts, there's a lot of diversity there. And then with the gas and air and stuff, we'll break that down into kind of what is common. Yeah, I think that's most of this. We're just going to kind of talk through your common airsoft stuff.
What you're going to see.
You may reach out there and find some crazy stuff like Cameron with his flamethrower. Like, that's custom built.
But yeah,
stuff.
You build that kind of stuff.
It's building off of principles
at
that
the same
are
time
true.
It's powered the same as something that's on this list.
So we're not. I guess the point I'm trying to make is we're not really saying these are your options.
Yeah,
like it's mostly, not like you can get this M4 or that M4 or this shotgun or that. It's these are the fuel. I guess you would say the power system. Your different categories.
You just want to start off. So I mean, the most common, I think, for new players that you're going to see, and the most accessible, is going to be your springers. And for springers, I think spring pistols is where everybody kind of starts. That's your first. You get that little, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
God, thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, dude. I got I remember being 10 years old. Imagine an M249.
Oh my God.
I
remember that thing, dude.
Scaled down to like 9-year-old size.
I remember that thing.
But it's a spring action. So it's just got this random charging handle on the side that you bink.
Yeah. That thing was crusty.
Yeah. And it sounded nasty too.
It sounded gross.
But it was the coolest thing I'd ever owned.
And yeah,
like,
I mean
at that point in time, my mind was like
that pew pew.
Yeah, but somehow still used a high cap mag without a winding wheel. So there was a reservoir that would hold BBs, and the mag was like this big, like tiny. So it would hold BBs in the reservoir, but the spring was like on a pistol. You know how on your pistol mag you can draw the spring down and load from the bottom? So you would, after you were out, you'd have to take the mag out, pull that spring down and shake, and then BBs would fall in, and then you'd release the spring, and then
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's insane.
Stuff. So definitely something that like came from a small airsoft manufacturer in China.
Oh yeah. Like UK Arms or whatever that. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what you're looking at with Springer stuff. It's that crusty, it's a little bit cheap. A lot of bit cheap,
Oh, very cheap.
I mean that M249, I can't imagine costs more than $50.
No.
Yeah. So very cheap. Very accessible. I mean, I remember going to the flea market, finding Springers. I can go to Walmart and find one.
Yeah. Very cheap to buy and very easy to break. Very cheap materials. You're going to get ripped to pieces if you bring this to an airsoft field.
You're not going to make it.
This is like baby's first airsoft. Yeah. You're like, a kid. You just got this, like you were saying, your grandma just bought you this. This is the you'll shoot your eye out situation. Like you're gonna run out into the backyard and start blasting.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, dude. Perfect for the backyard. Like you and your friends. Like and a lot of the time those Springer kits come in like 2-packs or whatever, where you get like 2 Springers and then you call your buddy over. Huh?
2-pack.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Jerry Springer. I was like, what?
Tupac joke out.
Yeah, we did get it, dude. I'm surprised you know who that is.
That I know who Tupac is?
Yeah. I don't know. Look at you. I mean, look at me.
I mean, I was homeschooled, but I don't like listen to Tupac. I just know who he is.
You know who Tupac is, don't you? You follow Jada Pinkett Smith?
Sure. No,
she had an entanglement.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we did. Not the Tupac thing. Going
No,
back
no,
to the
not the
backyard
entanglement.
thing.
Oh my god,
that's what we did. We got entangled.
No. No.
Oh, tangled up.
All tangled.
So
we got all tangled up.
Anyways, running around in the backyard. That's how we started out. I remember I got a U.S. Army licensed 1911 Springer.
Oh, man.
That brown one I have is U.S. Army licensed.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And so that, and then I had a thick, like heavy weighted 1911 Springer that was like silver. Do you remember that one?
I do remember that one too.
I gave that to someone recently, or not recently, within the last couple of years.
And you had like a Deagle or something too, didn't you? No, you had a big revolver.
Yeah, big revolver, and then the FAMAS that was.
The FAMAS
was
spring. That thing had the charging handle on the top.
Mm-hmm. And then we would just run around, dude.
Oh,
we
yeah.
would run around the backyard. I used to
no goggles, no iPro.
Dude,
no iPro. I mean, but like they're not shooting near hard enough.
What were we doing?
We weren't.
Do not do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
You will shoot your eye out.
Now, I will say the Springers, the jewel rate, the jewel limits on that, like probably
we weren't
nothing.
wearing iPro, but we were wearing dollar store sunglasses.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do
Wear
that either.
iPro, ANZ rated iPro.
Even for Springers.
If you like seeing,
if you
enjoy the visual world.
Have you seen, raise your hands right now, who saw the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
I've not seen it.
I haven't either. But did you enjoy it?
But did you like it?
Did you enjoy watching it?
Did you watch Barbie?
Did you watch Barbenheimer?
Did you watch, the Michael Bay Transformers series?
Did you, your favorite band in concert?
I actually want to see that one.
Yeah.
I, for one, enjoyed it. But,
yeah, they were fun. But
I'm a big Transformers fan.
But wear anti-rated iPro.
We used to just take like random crap and like, I don't know if you remember those barriers that I built.
Yes.
So my dad built a greenhouse whenever I was a kid in our backyard. With like aquaponics or whatever it's called, with the fish and the plants and all that.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of spare building supplies, hardy board, corrugated plastic sheets and stuff, metal sheets and all that. And so I used to just go out there and like take the scraps left over from construction projects and build little like speedball style barriers.
I think just sliding around with a Springer.
And we would just go in the backyard and blast each other. And so that's what that stuff's great for. If you have like a kid that you want to get into airsoft and you think they're a little too young to really go out to the field and play, get them some Springers, let them run around with their friends, give them some
good iPro.
Yeah, it's a jolly good time.
iPro, I wouldn't necessarily say a lower. Some of those kits.
I like my teeth.
Of those kits are going to come with like a paintball style, if not a full paintball mask. It'll have like sunglasses that have a lower built into it.
If you're an adult or even a teenager, you can skip this phase. Like if this didn't happen naturally for you, like Ezra ran around with me in the backyard once ever and didn't like it with the spring pistols. But
he's been playing with us on
He's
Saturdays.
old enough now, and he's old enough.
He is old enough.
His
he's tall
first
enough.
AEG was a ASG Scorpion Evo or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
Scorpion
nice.
Evo.
So like, if you can, just skip to the good stuff and start playing on the field. But the Springers, the pistols are great.
I mean, and it's not just pistols. There's
other options as well,
like,
which are more viable.
Yes, I think after spring pistols, the next most common thing you're going to see is spring like bolt action rifles, like snipers. We've got a couple back here, but I mean, like the Novich SSG 24 is a absolute monster of a rifle, and
Beast.
it just uses a spring.
But it is
There's going to be a picture on Instagram later.
Yeah.
You guys will probably see this. It is almost as tall as me.
It is
with the
up to his
suppressor on.
shoulder.
It's up to my shoulder.
It's like right below his shoulder.
Yeah. That thing is an absolute monster, and it's just a glorified Springer.
Yeah. It's just a fully upgraded spring piston system.
Really nice, really well done Springer.
Dude,
but
I got a
it's a Springer. Now, Isaac, if I'm not mistaken, you've been quoted as saying that cheap ones are dog water. But it depends on what you put into it. Now we've got one back here that I got a while ago.
I'll tell you why they're dog water.
Why's that?
They're dog water because they're gross and dirty and should be free. Okay?
And should be free.
Now, the nice ones, dude. Ooh, I used it. Dude, I used that rifle last Saturday and got a ton of kills.
This little VSR 10 looking thing?
Yeah, the ASG one.
Oh man, another one?
What was it? ASG Action.
Oh, that one's a little wet. That's probably not good. I need to stop doing that.
You're
gonna throw
burp
up
your stomach out.
Yeah, I am. Dude, I paid like $80 for that thing, the ASG Sportline. And you can put a like $100 whatever tuning kit in it and make it about as good as a VSR 10.
Yeah.
You know?
We talk a lot about sniping because I just love sniping.
He does.
I don't get to do it nearly enough though.
It's a very skillful weapon, and Isaac, you've got skill. I was hearing those
dude, on Saturday. Headshot sound. I love when people wear helmets because it lets me aim for the head and not hurt someone.
Yeah. And then when it hits,
you so loud. Hear it. So good. I actually will aim for the face if people have on like paintball masks.
Headshot.
Because I would rather hit something hard plastic that they know they got hit, they heard it. Right? If I aim for the vest, sometimes they don't call it. So if I aim for a helmet or something, then that's better. But if they're just rocking bare skull out there, I'll have to aim for the vest. I try to be very courteous because I know it can hurt a lot.
Right.
We have a rule: we always get hit by our own blasters before
and that
we use them.
Does hurt.
And that one hurt.
It does.
Because that was like we were still sort of in the backyard sometimes. Like we went to hoppers, but every now and then we would goof off in the backyard, and I got hit in the backyard with that, and my back was on fire, dude.
Dude, I'm scared anytime you're on the other team, man. I just am terrified.
But they're good if you get a good one.
Mm-hmm. It's a great source of serotonin.
If you get a cheap one, don't expect to have much fun on the field,
dude. And fun you will have. I mean, I have not had much experience with airsoft sniping, but
I want to get you out there with me. I want you to get that sport line kitted out, and we'll go. Yeah.
We'll do it, dude. I'll get a little sniper rig or something set up.
Honestly, I want you to try out the sport line, and then try out my L96 and see. Because if you're gonna upgrade one, and you like the body of the L96 more, I have mags for that, and then you can use the SSG 96 mags. And you can have that L96 if you want.
We'll see what's up.
You. I want to see though how
I do too.
That thing fires stock.
So yeah, I think there's not much else to say about snipers.
No, it's just kind of if you put the money into it, and like we were saying, like that you drop in 180, maybe 200. And you're good, But like, don't go out there and buy a $50 bolt action sniper and think
you're gonna be kicking Mustang.
Yeah, no,
dude. And then I think spring shotguns are the last one.
Spring shotguns are
fun. Dude.
It's the only spring weapon or only spring blaster you can buy cheap and still have
a great time. Yeah.
Now, your play style has to be a little bit different, and I wouldn't even waste my time buying a spring shotgun unless it was a tri-shot that took shells.
It's not worth it.
Because at that point, yes, it looks like a shotgun, but if you're firing one single shot, you might as well just have a Springer pistol.
Right.
So make sure you get the tri-shot where it shoots a spread of 3 BBs, take shells. The shells essentially just work as mags. There's like 30 rounds, so you get 10 shots of 3.
Comes in handy.
But like your play style really is what's gonna kind of determine how much fun you have with that. Like I love running my shotgun fast paced, moving fast, but like taking my time on my shots, if that makes sense. Like I'm sprinting up as fast as I can to get up close to people, but then I'm taking my time to line up my shots because it is goom, you know?
Yeah.
And you can try to do that, but if you've got a higher power spring in there, it's going to be you know?
It's going to be a little rough.
So, shotguns are fun though.
I think the only thing about spring shotguns is if you're up against if you're up against anything else, you know, you have to be smart, right? Like even a gas powered shotgun is going to be better than a spring shotgun
because just like fire rate and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have cleared Fortnite.
Yeah.
Single-handedly with that
the entire
shotgun.
game of Fortnite.
Yeah, all of Fortnite. No, there's a big like fortress at our home field
that they
call
like Fortnite,
multi-level and has like 2 entrances. It's like a terrible place to try to breach. And all I ran was literally, I didn't even take my belt. I don't know if you remember. I threw my belt off. All I took was that shotgun and the clothes on my body and sprinted as fast as I could, went straight inside and started clearing one by one each hallway. And then
it was good, dude.
It just worked.
The rest of the team was outside fighting everybody. And then we just stopped getting shot at and saw Isaac's head pop up over the rampart.
You can also get good mercy kills. You know, bang bang rules are not enforced everywhere. At our field, it's a courtesy. But like, if I sneak up close enough to put a barrel into your back, you're gonna call it.
Yeah, you're gonna call it.
And I've done that several times with the shotgun, and that's just how you have to play. Like, you know, if I see you and you're 50 feet away from me, and you've got an AG like M4 or something,
I'm not gonna mess with you.
I can't do much there.
Yeah.
You can. I've done it, but you have to treat it like, okay, I've got one shot. Let me not waste this. You peek, and then
duck back.
And then duck back. It's not like there's no firepower to suppress the enemy.
So spring shotguns are a lot of fun. I would actually love to just run yours one time.
It's way too long. I gotta saw it off or something because it's almost as long as this sniper.
Oh, it's not out here, is it?
No, I left it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I took the
pad
off the back. I had a bullet loop on there, but I took it off and threw it on my sniper so that I can run an extra mag in there if I want a speed loader.
Yeah. You mentioned your one of your first airsoft blasters. I remember distinctly one of my first ones being one of those 2-pack kits from Walmart, but it was 2 little even smaller than a regular MP5K replicas that was plastic, and it was completely clear. You could see all the gearbox and everything inside, and they were electric, and I don't even remember where the battery was, but
most of the time, if I remember, those style actually fed like a paintball gun, with the optic being a hopper full of BBs.
It didn't have an optic, but it did have a hopper, and then the magazine was still seated.
Was the battery for mine.
I think
what I had.
I think there was
one where the mag was the
battery. I remember that.
And the optic was a hopper, a fake optic.
It had a hopper, but the magazine was an actual magazine, and then I feel like it was anyway. I don't remember. Anyway, basically, it only had full auto, and you had to hold the safety and pull the trigger for it to fire. And my brother and I were just running around no iPro, shooting at each other, and that was my first. But I mean, I electric.
I just remember we used to have this one kid who would show up to play with the springers in around the neighborhood and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot of that type of stuff. Like the guy who had the automatic was like, oh, he's got a good one. But some kids would show up and not have anything and would just throw rocks. So dangerous to have kids throwing rocks at each other. But I would be behind trash cans in the alley and just hear boom as a rock hit the trash can. One kid brought a slingshot and shot acorns.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was way too dangerous.
Y'all could have killed somebody.
Yeah, well, we had fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, so electric, electric airsoft blasters. So what is it? What is AEG, the actual
Automatic electric gun.
acronym? Okay. Yeah. So obviously it's not a gun.
Get a better acronym.
Yeah,
though.
get a better
You know what I'm
acronym.
saying? Automatic electric gun.
But AEGs are, I think, the next most common thing you're going to see. Everybody you're playing with out on the
And
field
that is
more than likely going to have an AEG.
those like clear ones. Obviously, that's like the little cheap kid.
Yeah, or like that Far Sand one that we had on the podcast.
But like Evike Matt has a SEMA blaster he recommends for $100.
Yeah.
And so as cheap as $100, you can get something that is going to compete on the field.
And is Evike Matt certified?
Yes. And so AEGs are the standard, I feel like, for a lot of airsoft.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the majority. What you're looking at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7.
Yeah,
of
5
these
out of 7
are AEGs, and there's even more in our storage.
Yeah.
So
it's it's cost effective because, I mean, like I said, Evike Matt's got one for $100 that he recommends. The SEMA AK that I got is $199 and it slaps right out the box.
Yeah.
There's just
same with Trey's.
Trey's
SEMA
AK was
I think
under
sub
200.
200.
Yeah.
Sub 200 and
it's
a
also
beam.
SEMA. Yeah.
Just out of the box.
It's a laser beam. And I think that's the really cool thing is with AEGs, there's variety. So you pretty much any platform is an AEG
and you think
configuration.
About this, on this end, we've got our Lancer Gen 2, which was what,
120, 140, something like that?
Like, I don't know.
It might have been
very,
more.
very, very cheap. Under 200.
Under 200.
And then you've got this RPK that's over 400. But then you've got our Valkyns, which were between 2 to 350.
Yours
was under 300.
Under 300, yeah.
Mine was just over. And we've done a little bit of work to them. I've done a bit more to mine, I feel like, at this point. Because you haven't upgraded your barrel yet, have you?
I have.
Oh, you have. So, yeah. So, we've done some work to them. And still for like around 300, those things are a beast on the field.
Monsters.
Like more than we will ever need reasonably.
Yeah.
Like at our home field. And so, like AGs they're really flexible. You can do a lot with them, and you can find them in a bunch of different price ranges.
You can customize the absolute mess out of them too.
The absolute doo-doo out
that's
of them.
With attachments like grips, optics, all that stuff, but you can even swap out internals. It's very easy to work on.
You've got a new barrel, new hop-up? Or
Not yet.
So new barrel, flashlight, pressure switch optic, iron sights, forward grip, and a new butt stock. And then I've got my optic, forward grip, flashlight mount, and extended barrel.
Yeah.
And it was, all this stuff together is, again, we're talking around $300 for a nice setup.
Yeah. And even then, right out the box, these two blasters are incredible.
Even the Gen 2 over here, that's like 150 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Shay's cousin was running that, and
she was tearing it up.
She said that she wasn't having any problems. So you can get a ton of ranges out of this, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, if I take my M4 out there, I've got it kind of configured to be more like a DMR. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to shoot out further because I like playing that support role. I like taking slower single shots.
Right.
But if you run that thing and you're comfortable getting aggressive, get within 80 feet of someone and you're just as accurate.
Yeah.
It's just all you're doing at that point when you kind of drop money into it is you're going to be upping your fire rate.
Yeah.
And increasing accuracy at
range.
A distance.
Yeah.
And a lot
and
of that
durability, something to be said about durability.
Yeah, and mine is full metal. Our Falcons are full metal versus a polymer.
Plastic or polymer,
yeah. There's a lot of research to do. We have a few episodes out already that kind of talk about some of this stuff, as well as a lot of reviews. So if you guys are looking at blasters, check out the page. We've got quite a few reviews and quite a few more coming up soon.
Yeah, actually, we got a lot in the pipeline.
Everyone that we know is buying into Airsoft right now, and they're just letting us review all their stuff they're buying. So we're on backlog probably close to 6
Yeah,
that we haven't even released yet.
I think so.
Because we've got 2 King Arms. I'm not gonna say all.
Don't
of them.
spoil
You're right.
it.
Two from Ben, 1 from Nathan, 1 from Trey. We haven't done Shay's, and then we did Aces, but haven't finished it.
Right.
So yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Anyways, we've got a lot of reviews for you guys coming up. We're trying to space them out so that it's not overwhelming to just only watch review videos, but we've got to get them out there.
Right. So yeah, I mean, AEG's the standard. It's, you know, it's just reliable, all reliable. You're going to drop the money you're going to put into it, and it's going to work as well as you need it to for, you know, your pickup games.
Right.
Now let's get into the nitty gritty, right? Because once you've kind of gotten comfortable with AEGs,
Yeah.
at least for me, I'm kind of looking more towards something a little spicier.
Something a little bit punchy.
So I think gas is, I think, where a lot of people, once you've kind of gotten into it for a little bit, you gotten comfortable working on stuff and kind of maintaining your gear and whatnot, and you start looking at gas powered airsoft blasters, and that looks like a variety of things, right? You've got blowback and non-blowback options for all of this, as well as green gas, CO2, or HPA, high pressure air.
Even green gas, there's like different degrees of gas.
Yeah, there's like black gas, blue gas, and all.
Yeah, which just have to do with what temperature it's rated for.
This thing's so heavy.
I imagine it.
I don't think you realize.
I know.
We should swap rigs one day.
Nah.
This thing weighs a solid 40 pounds.
I think I'll stick with my lightweight HRT build.
And I know there's people out there that are like, imagine running 10 miles with 60 pounds or 80 pounds. Hey, man, it's airsoft. I don't have to.
Not gonna.
No,
but yeah, there's a lot of options when you get into gas, and with those kind of comes a lot more like knowledge that's required, like the learning curve.
You need to know how to maintain stuff a little bit better.
It's a little harder to maintain all that.
Dude, the Jocko fuel's not Jockoing.
It's not?
No, it is. I just haven't finished it. You ready? I'm going to slam this.
Slam it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be hell.
Yep. Just like in Fortnite. Chug jug. You know what I'm saying? That is how that works, right? That's Fortnite. Chug jug. You do shield potion or something.
I'm going to regret that.
Yeah, you are. Dude, imagine... God. So like Apex.
There was a little bit of a scream in there too.
Apex, you find like
I'm not gonna do
armor shields. You know, like shields on the ground that you put on.
That did it.
And then
Man.
You're kicking now?
Yeah, I'm kicking chicken.
But Apex, you're like putting on shields. PUBG, you're finding vests, like actual full vests.
Yeah.
Warzone, you're just wearing
shoving in armor plates.
You're just wearing like 10 plates stacked on top of each other. But then Fortnite, you're drinking some Powerade.
You're drinking sodas.
You're
and
drinking
juices.
Powerade that's going to make you more bullet resistant. It's really, honestly, it's a lot like COD Zombies. You're getting like Juggernaut or whatever, Pack-a-Punch, all that stuff. Just cracking open a cold one.
Man.
But yeah. The other thing with gas.
Yeah, that was worth it.
The other thing with gas too is they're like more realistic replicas typically, which are like good for training purposes. Yeah,
so you'll see like SHOT Show has a bunch of gas blowback stuff just for police and military training.
And that's blowback, a lot of that stuff. We gotta limit you to how many burps.
I'm so sorry.
You're gonna like throw up at some point. There can only be so much air inside.
No, there's always more.
But you'll get like blowback airsoft blasters where basically the bolt is functioning like a real bolt would, where it's kicking back, next round cycling, and there's just air kicking that bolt back so that you can simulate recoil. Obviously, you're not going to get a full, kick. But like, if you've ever shot real steel AR-15s or anything like that, you're going to realize these things don't even really kick that hard.
They don't. Yeah.
So you can achieve that with Airsoft. Now, once you get into the heavier stuff and like larger caliber, like, replicas, you're not going to simulate like 308 from.
No, definitely not. Not from Airsoft. But I mean, 5.56. I wouldn't say even really 7.62.
No, yeah. I mean,
22 long rifle, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
22.
Now,
I feel like Airsoft gas blowback
if
kicks
you want to,
more than 22 long rifle.
If you want to simulate your pistol stuff, you can do that.
You can.
Some of those pistols kick.
That SSP1.
Yeah, kicks
and
hard.
The SSP2. Boo. That thing barks.
Pistols too. It's like really a lot of the same options. Blowback or non-blowback. I have one of each.
You got the Mark 23 and a couple of
SSP
SSP ones.
Yeah, I do have
just like a couple
of them laying around. But same thing there. And those are honestly, it's crazy how blowback rifles are not very common. There's a lot of them.
Oh yeah,
they exist. Someone is bound to have one.
It looks like it's a lot of M4s though.
Yeah. Well, the thing is if you show up to a field, someone is bound to have a blowback rifle, but they're not super common in the sense of like percentage of players, right? There might be one or two people at the field out of like 30. And so those AEGs are still more common, but everyone who runs a pistol is using a gas pistol. No one really uses electric. I've seen a few people. There's viable options for it, but the majority of your stuff is he's got a Glock replica or something.
He makes a Glock replica that is electric,
which is based off of his old G18. Was that Marui, Tokyo Marui?
It was a Tokyo Marui. Yeah.
I remember when that one day that broke or something, and I remember it was like really sad.
Yeah,
I remember he got rid of it or something. I don't remember.
Well, he also had like a battery or whatever that was.
Well, he had a cord.
Yeah, was it for the battery though?
I thought it was. I thought you can get them where they go in the mag. Like I had a friend who, back when we were still doing Springer, had an electric blowback pistol that the battery goes in the mag.
Where do the BBs go?
In the mag. So you know how like your gas goes in the mag? That compartment was just a battery instead of
sounds
gas.
like it's a little bit more efficient.
I don't know.
But electric blowbacks.
I love me some good gas blowback pistols.
Yeah.
So, and you can get a lot of that stuff, replicas. Like one of the things for a lot of the guys I'm trying to talk to right now that I'm trying to convince to come play with us, they want to use Airsoft for training purposes more so than just as a hobby. And so I'm trying to, convince them to come out because you can get licensed product. Like Glock makes Airsoft blasters that are for training. Yeah. And you can use them on the field.
Daniel Defense has licenses with EMG
Colt,
and SEMA. Colt has stuff. F1 Firearms has. There was a guy that we played with. Nighthawk has some. There was a guy on the field Saturday that had the like F1 like skeletonized looking thing.
Mm-hmm. There's a ton. Basically, if there's a firearm manufacturer that you like, you can get something for Airsoft. Even if it's not officially licensed, you can get something.
Yeah, something close. Like these are Tomb Raider pistols.
Crazy.
I
mean, even like, dude, no one has an RPK just laying around their house. You know what I'm saying? But I can get the Airsoft one. None of us have a Ma Deuce, but you can get
an
that.
Airsoft one.
Like, all this stuff you can literally get. Cool. If you want to get a BAR just to like be like, oh, I have World War II, you can get that. Like, you like one of the most common Airsoft blasters for a 12-year-old to show up with is a Tommy gun.
Yeah, I've seen that multiple times.
That is the most common one.
That or an AK.
Yeah, that or an AK. And so like even Hamilton, one of his first AGs was a full metal and real wood furniture Tommy gun.
He used it at Rev.
And it slapped, honestly.
It sure did.
By volume, not by accuracy.
Yeah,
by volume.
It's just a wall of BBs.
Yeah. because he had that big drum.
but
mag.
honestly, that's the Tommy gun.
I think he had a drum mag. Maybe
He did.
stick.
He had a big drum mag.
So, yeah, if you are wanting to get into training stuff or just know what it feels like to run your real steel kit, act like in an active, moving, dynamic scenario, get a replica of your Glock. Get a replica of whatever you have. Like, obviously,
Get a replica
don't get them mixed up.
Of your high point yeet cannon, and get a replica of your high point 10mm carbine.
Oh, yeah.
And just start operating.
Yeah, I love that. Dude, hey, you know what I love? I love when my blaster doesn't fire. You know what I love? I love when my blaster,
Dude,
the mag falls out.
I love when my blaster, I shoot it so much that the plastic melts.
Yeah,
I love it.
I saw a guy comment on a Novrich post last night. I was looking at some stuff, and he was talking about the SSP-1, and this guy commented, I would never buy that. I can buy a real Jun for half the price. And I went, hey, man, I want you to tell me what real firearm you're buying for like
less
$60.
Because the SSP-1 or SSP-2
it's only
is
like 120 or something.
It's not very expensive.
I want to know how much. I want to know what you're getting.
And then I want to watch a video of you shooting it. I don't want to be anywhere near this thing going off.
I want you to put 16 rounds through that thing consecutively
without your hands exploding.
And see what happens.
and I want you to do your best to tell me what happens.
I'll come visit you in the hospital.
Yeah, I'll come see you in the hospital, and you just do your best to get through that feeding tube.
That feeding tube. Dang. But yeah.
Going Kentucky ballistics on these guys.
The only thing that we really have left is shotguns for gas.
But for shotguns, it's mostly like a gas-powered shotgun. You're just going to get ready to fire. Some of them are pump, but they're mostly only pump to rack the...
The Elite Force one is semi.
The Elite Force one is semi, but I've seen gas-powered ones that are pump because... And you're not like... It's not the same as a spring where you're like... It's just
lighter.
You got to... All you're doing is pushing the bolt back so it can push another BB up into it and slide it forward. And they function very similarly to real steel. So, and that's why a lot of police and military use it for training.
So
yeah, these are all the airsoft blasters that you can ever play with.
No other ones exist.
And you can't make any yourself.
Yeah.
Dude, we saw
there
was a guy out there.
Many people,
there was a guy out
so
there.
So many blasters.
Saturday had just 3D printed blasters.
Just made all of them himself. 3D printed hop-ups, all that stuff.
He had a Halo SMG. He had a AR.
If you'll recall, Novrich made a soda bottle airsoft blaster.
Yeah, he went to like a hardware store and then like got
less
a
than
2-liter.
$100.
Yeah, like got a piece of wood, a hose sprayer, like a nozzle,
and like a compressed
tank. Yeah. No, I didn't even think. Oh yeah, he did and he just like shoved a metal tube inside of a bottle full of BBs and ran air into the other side,
and then the cyclone like pushed it out.
Yeah,
and he got wild. A ton of kills. So airsoft can be that.
Airsoft can be whatever you want it to be.
But these are the most common blasters. We've been running for a while.
We have. This was a very long
episode. Thank you guys for bearing with us through our tangents and distractions, but podcast.
Yeah, podcast. That is what technically a podcast is. So,
do you have anything else? I really feel like we've covered a lot here.
I mean, as far as this goes, can't really think of anything.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We appreciate you. We, for those of you who are new to the channel, we post weekly. Every Friday, new podcast episodes are available on YouTube.
Check them out.
And then as well as twice a month, we post a normal YouTube video such as a unboxing, review, budget loadout, like airsoft tactics, tutorial, equipment fixes, stuff like that. You can like and subscribe. That'll push more of our content into your feed.
You should do that.
So choose.
It would be right of you to do that.
if you would like to support the channel, you can leave a comment. That really helps push us up in the algorithm. And share this with a friend or share this with an enemy. You know, throw them for a loop. You know, tell them to meet you out on the field.
Why did this person I hate send me a video of
challenge them
Airsoft
to
podcast?
a 1v1 on Nuketown.
Yeah, 1v1 me, bro.
And you have, you know, send them this as a hint.
Hey, whoever sent you this is calling you out. 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah. We say it at the end of the video, at the end of the hour-long video.
Oh, get wrecked. Get wrecked. You watch this whole thing. 1v1 me.
Yeah. So we love you guys.
Yeah, we
appreciate you showing up and showing your support. You can
like us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram as well. You can like our stuff earlier, and then you can follow us there.
Yeah.
And that handle that you can find all that at is at port_city_airsoft. And that's also a spot where you can DM us if you have any questions or concerns.
Or if you want to send us a patch.
If you want to send us a patch, then DM us through there, and we'll let you know how you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just message us.
Where else are we? We're on other stuff too, right? Yeah.
Reddit.
Oh, yes.
We post in the r/airsoft community. You can find all of this down in the description below.
Do you know what else you can find in the description below?
Tell them.
You can find stuff that's got Port City written on it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like a shirt or something, and it says Port City on it.
Yeah.
It says
you
Port
want it to
City.
say that? You want it to be cool?
Or it's got like a cool like
Kraken art. Yeah.
Design on it, you know?
Yeah.
If you can find all that in the description as well.
If you want to feel like a smooth operator, head down to the description and get yourself a t-shirt, a jacket, a hat.
A smooth operator, a female persuader.
Spot a fly girl, and in a week I'm going to date her.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
You will with Port City merch.
So if you want to look and feel cool, because that's really 60% of Airsoft is looking and feeling cool.
20% is smelling cool.
And then
we don't talk about that.
The last little bit there is actually being good.
Is hitting your shots. Yeah.
So anyways.
But yeah, all that to say.
Down below.
And we appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
And hope this was helpful.
And stay tuned for more episodes.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
I got another one.
We haven't done this in a while. You want to do this one?
Yeah, we can.